respect leaders of KDU, respect senior officers from Sri Lanka Armed Forces, respect the delegates and the audience. Very good afternoon. It is my honor to be here to have a chance to give a speech on Chinese perspective concerning changing dynamics, environment, challenges and opportunities. And I think I should thank the KDU give me the chance. Really, it is a big topic and also a very important topic. But to my understanding, it would be a little bit hard for me to speak again concerning these topics, because just now Major General from Bangladesh have mentioned many things that what I want to mention. But anyway, I may have to just quick go through what have been mentioned and focus on, I believe, what have been mentioned before. So generally, my presentation includes 3 parts, just following what they have given to me: the main challenges, main opportunities, and possible way out. The main challenges, we believe that including these 3 areas. First is the uncertainty of major powers relationship. We believe that major power relationship have a strong influence on international strategic situation. The unstable relationship between major powers will seriously affect global stability. Here I just want to mention 2 very important couple of relationships, because these 2 relationships, I believe, have the potential to become very uncertain. So first is the Sino-US relationship. US, I think, right now is still the strongest country in the world. And China is the largest developing countries. We define ourselves, and the second largest economy in terms of GDP. And the future developments of China and US relationship, I think, will strongly affected by following 2 factors. First, that how does the US think about the increasing role of China in this world? And the second, that what will be President Trump's policy toward China? So these 2 issues, we believe that is will seriously affect the future relationship between China and the United States. And the second, relationship is US-Russia relationship. The US also treats Russia as a challenger to her world leadership. Also, Russia is not, although Russia is not very strong in terms of economy, Russia is still a world military power. The bilateral relationship was troubled by NATO expansion, Kosovo War, Russia-Georgia conflict, and Ukraine crisis. The competition of 2 countries in Syria further adds some uncertainty to the relationship. Although President Trump has expressed or reiterate that the US want a better relationship with Russia, I don't think his move will become a very easy job. And the US Congress just voted to impose sanctions on Russia, and the President Trump has signed the bill, so become an act that go into force. And these sanctions surely will get some response from Russia side. Another kind of challenge is the rising populism, extremism ideas. So due to the reason we believe that it is because of protracted economic sluggishness, widened gap between rich and poor, frequent terrorist attacks. So the rising of these populism will have strong impact on international politics and the relationship, because populism, this kind of populism with inward-looking conservatism and anti-establishment, anti-elite. The third kind of challenges is interwoven traditional and non-traditional security threats. Korean nuclear issues has not returned to the right track of dialogue and consultation, and fell into a vicious circle of act and react. The deployment of THAAD in ROK has seriously affected the strategic balance of the region, and we have seen some positive development in Syria crisis, but the competition between parties concerned will continue. The situation in Ukraine is quite unstable. On July 19th, one of the republics in eastern region of Ukraine has announced to establish a new country called Little Russia. And the conflict in South Sudan is continuing for several years and caused millions of refugees. Really, we are facing numerous, more serious non-traditional threats, such as terrorism, climate change, natural disaster, transnational crimes. But among them, I believe terrorism could be the most prominent one at this moment. Although the international war against terror has made some progress, but it does not stop the spreading of terrorism around the world. To some extent, the terrorist right now has pushed to spread all over the world. And some fighters in Syria now have returned back to their mother country and become the seeds of terrorism. So we can see, we have seen some terrorist attacks in Paris, in Great Britain, in the United States, in Russia, not to mention those already suffered region as the Middle East, South Asia, and North Africa. Although we are facing many serious challenges, we believe that we also have some opportunities to make use of. And these kind of opportunities are bigger than the challenges. First is common understanding of peace and development. Peace and development are the main trend of the time. After the Cold War, although wars or armed conflicts have not stopped, generally speaking, we believe that we enjoy more peace and stability, and the possibility of world war is quite small. No matter China and the US, or the US and Russia, all try to avoid major conflicts. Since 2012, Japan's unilateral move to change the status quo of Diaoyu Island, the two sides have experienced serious confrontations. But both sides tried to keep the situation down and do not want the situation go out of control. In the world of interconnected national interests, war is not a wise choice. Secondly, the shifting of international balance of power from the West to East. Emerging economies have kept a good momentum of development and have become the main engine of world economy, while developed countries that are recovering slowly from economic crisis. developing countries, especially BRICS, have played an increasing important role in international affairs, which is conducive to contain the unilateral military operation by some countries. Certainly, the increasing trend of international cooperation to meet common threats. That means that the people in the world more willingly to cooperate to meet the common threats, because the increasing common interest between us, and also we are facing some common threats. So this requires the cooperation. It is impossible to fight against terrorism by one country or one region. It needs the common efforts of international community. On November 4th, 2016, Paris Agreement went into effect with 194 signatories, and among them, 147 have ratified it, which has showed the common effort of international community to meet the common threats. After the US President, Mr. Trump, announced the US withdrawal from the agreement, the leaders of Italy, France, and Germany made a statement saying Paris Agreement represents the general trend, and the Paris Climate Accord can't be renegotiated. At region and sub-regional level, people can witness regionalization is developing steadily in Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. So some possible way out, in order to meet the challenges, the world community should, I think, pay attention to the following points. First, we need to adopt new security concept. We need to drop Cold War mentality and build a concept of common, comprehensive, cooperative, and sustainable security. Common security requires us to respect and ensure the security of each and every country, means that we cannot have our own security at the expense of others. We should respect the sovereignty, the social systems, and development paths chosen by country on their own. We should keep in mind that every country has the equal rights to participate in international security affairs, and no country should attempt to dominate regional or international security affairs. Comprehensive security means we have to deal with both traditional and non-traditional security threats at the same time. It also means that we need to deal with security challenges, and we have to adopt a comprehensive approach. Cooperative security means to achieve security through dialogues and cooperation. The fact of interwoven security interests and the transnational security threats means cooperation is the most practical approach to meet the security challenges. Sustainable security means that we need to promote sustainable security through sustainable development. Development is the foundation for security. Sustainable development requires common development, means all countries join hands to develop together. Green development means that the development should be environmental friendly and resources saving. Balanced development means that we need to narrow the gap between regions, between countries, and between individuals. And also, we need to strike a balance between security and development. The second point is to make utmost efforts to build strategic mutual trust. Trust is the precondition for close cooperation. However, I think it is very easy to say and very hard to achieve. So first, we believe that building trust through extensive exchanges. Ladies and gentlemen, here I want to ask you a question. Whether you believe China wants peaceful development. It is a really easy question or hard question as well. Because just now I've listened to several speakers talking about China. It seems to me that why you just believe China could kind of challenge us to the world security or regional security. We just had a seminar about the presenters or the participants all from Central European countries. And 15 countries and 15 participants. And after the seminar, we have conducted a survey. And 14 of them give the answer they have totally or largely changed their perception about China. So we believe that the Chinese really want you to know us. And if you go to China to contact with ordinary Chinese people, you will find out something is not as you think about. Because we found out the Chinese voice was not heard all around the world. What you hear about most likely is from the Western media. So we believe that building trust is very important, and through extensive exchange, we need to know you, and of course, we sincerely hope that you come to China to contact with ordinary Chinese people to know what we are thinking about. Okay, another is the building trust through cooperation, and also building trust through expanding common interests. And the last, I think, is proving global governance. We believe that the current global governance, the rules, not reflect the changing strategic landscape. And we put forward an idea to improve the global governance. That does not mean we want to change the world order. On the opposite, we insist on to safeguard the current international order, which with UN Charter at the core. And we also put forward the principles of wide consultation and joint contribution and shared benefits for building a more fair international order. So in conclusion, we believe that we are living in a dynamic world. We need to follow the general trend of the time to have more understanding and less suspicion, more peace and less war, more cooperation and less confrontation. Thank you very much.